Right, so I like to say Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shah, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakahagadash. Double unto the apostles and elders of GMS and salutations to you brothers out there that's doing this work and truth and sincerity. So this is not going to be a long video. We're pretty much going to get straight to the point, then I'm going to end it. So let's play it.
Black DoorDash driver gets pulled over by the police. Here's what happens.
Me. You can't do that, officer, because I called for your supervisor. I have my license. What is the reason I'm getting out?
Give your information. I told you
I didn't refuse. I asked.
Now you're resisting.
I haven't refused. I asked to speak to your supervisor.
Get out.
Sir, I feel uncomfortable. Please get your supervisor.
I don't give a
Don't touch me.
I said get out.
Please stop it. Why are you being like this? Is how y'all really are? Please stop. This is all on tape. Please stop.
Get out of the car.
Please don't hurt me. Why
Get
are you doing this? No, sir.
I'm telling you, get out.
I'm telling you that this is not lawful. Oh my God, that's not lawful,
Get
sir.
out.
That's not lawful.
Get out.
The young man.
So, you know, that's what I wanted to play right there, man. We're going to get some scriptures and explain it scripturally, you know, through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shemiel Shah. Because this is what's wrong with Jake, man, is that Jake believed that, you know, because he can talk to the police in a softer tone or request a supervisor, that applies to him. No, it doesn't. It doesn't apply to him at all, man, you know, because Jake lacked the understanding to know that, in fact, you are still in the land of your captivity. That's what, when you go to the book of Baruch, I believe that's the 3rd chapter. The scripture says, the 3rd chapter, the 8th verse, the scripture says, for ye are yet this day in our captivity. And what you got to understand too, man, is that when you're fighting up against these cops, these so-called white cops, you're actually fighting up against the Most High. And the reason why I say that is because the sword of the Lord is the wicked, man. Right? And the wicked is Esau, Edom. Whether if you believe it or not, the wicked is Esau, Edom, which is the so-called white man. And the Most High controls each and every scenario in any case. When you go to Proverbs 20 and 24, read these scriptures that brothers be quoting. Go straight to them. Proverbs 20, 24, Jeremiah 10 and 23, Job 33 and 16, Proverbs 21 and 1. Read these scriptures that brothers be quoting, right? And you'll understand in situations like this, no matter how the situation is, no matter if you, again, speak to the cop in a softer tone, request a supervisor, that does not apply to you so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The only one we call upon is Yahweh, which is the Father, and Yahweh Shah, right? And to get to Yahweh, which is the Father, who you inwardly call God, we have to go through Yahweh Shah. So we got to believe in Yahweh Shah and the keeping of the commandments, which his commandments is the commandments of Yahweh. So let's get this. Hosea 4 and 6, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. You're destroyed for the lack of knowledge because the scriptures explain to you how to deal with a scenario or a situation like that, man. And because Jake wanted to deem himself equal to his enemy, that's why you get into situations like that. That's why you get tased, you get choked up. Now, I noticed in the case, man, that the cop kind of pretty much, when he was tuffling with Jake, that he pretty much just gave up at that moment and said, look, let me tase this dude. And you got to understand that the mind of the Most High work upon these people, man. So the Most High said, let me tase his ass. Let me put him in this situation, this scenario. And now Jake is charged with resisting arrest and another charge as well, man. Right? Because again, you're destroyed for the lack of knowledge. So again, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. I remember speaking to a brother a while back about a situation like that. Like, what if you get pulled over, you got your window down, license, registration, and insurance out. The cop tells you why he pulls you over, but he wants you to get out of the vehicle. What do you do at that moment? Do you start reciting laws to the police officer? No. You just get out, man. You just get out with your hands up, right? Let the police frisk you, do what he got to do, right? And give you your ID back, your ticket or whatever he's going to give you. And then you dip out of there. And as long as you got everything on video, you could deal with that whole situation in court, right? You could sue him and all that, right? Live to fight another day is what they say, right? But Jake got to prove a point. Jake got to prove that he could be equal with his enemy, which has never happened, man. Right? Would you try to be equal with somebody who put your child to death? No, the hell you wouldn't. You would want that person put to death. But here you trying to create equality with somebody who don't mind shooting your damn child if it came down to it. Like that cop who stopped that Judite girl, that Judite woman, and she had her children, like 3-4 children in a car, and he shot at the vehicle, man, while she drove off with the kids in the vehicle. He could have shot one of the kids in the head, the back, killed him. He didn't give a damn, man. That's why I used that scenario, right? Because you got to look at these cops as if they already have killed your children, man. Y'all think these cops, these so-called white cops, are y'all saviors, but they actually y'all enemies. Like I read an article earlier where Jake's store got robbed. He called the cops, and Jake ended up getting arrested. How the hell did that happen? See, this is the madness of you so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You're destroyed for the lack of knowledge when the scriptures, which the book is ours, it's not theirs, it's ours, and it's to guide us when we're dealing with situations like this. But because you think the so-called white man wrote the Bible, right? You think that the Bible belongs to the so-called white man, you don't mind, you don't care for reading it, man. Right? And this is why you get into situations you do. This is why you get choked up. This is why you're getting slammed. This is why you're getting tased. This is why you're getting shot up. This is why you're getting choked up with the knee. You're getting put in arm locks and arm bars. I dealt with a cop not that long ago, man. I was already prepared for him coming up. The scripture says, if let me get this real quick. Salaka, bear with me real quick. It's getting a little hot in this truck, so bear with me. Right? What do the scriptures say? Wait, Salakia, real quick. Right, so let me get this in the KJV. I would get it in different Texas too, but I'm gonna get it in the KJV. Right, in the book of Proverbs. Salakia, bear with me for a minute. It's coming up. Right, so it says Proverbs 16:7. It says, when a man's ways please the Lord, how do you please the Lord? Right, by the keeping of his laws, his statutes, and commandments. It says, when a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. I got pulled over not that long ago, man. Not really that long ago. And you asked me, how did I deal with the situation? Well, according to how the scriptures tell me to, man. Which we're going to get right now, which we're going to get as well. How do the scriptures tell me to deal with my enemies, man? Right? Well, I'm going to give you my testimony, then I'm going to give you the scriptures. Right? Because I was I was pretty much driving up next to another car, and the officer said I was going like 65 miles in a 45. So I put over into this this little marketplace, right? And I had my woman and my kids with me, man. I put over into this marketplace. He got behind me. He came. I had the window down and everything. I didn't have my license, registration, and insurance on me. Well, I didn't have it ready at the moment because my license was in the back of the trunk and my book bag, and my demon, she was getting the license. I mean, she was getting the registration and insurance. So he pulled me over. He asked me, do you know why I stopped you? I'm like, nah, I don't, officer. So he was like, you got your license? I was like, yeah, it's in the back. It's in the back. It's in my trunk in my bag. I just got to get it. Is it cool if I reach over and open up the door? And he was like, yeah, go ahead. So I reached over with my right hand. I opened up the door. I went back there. I said, is it cool if I grab my bag? He was like, yeah. So I grabbed my bag. I opened up the bag, gave him the license. My demon gave me the registration and insurance. I gave it to him. He took like 10, 15 minutes to check it out. Before you know it, he gave me a warning. I was out. Simple as that. Right? I didn't tussle and get tased and all that madness, man. If I needed to deal with anything, I would have dealt with it in court. Recorded the situation and dealt with it in court. But it was all through the Spirit and the Lord that delivered me out of that situation, man. I didn't even get a goddamn ticket. I ain't get charged with resisting arrest or nothing, man. Right? Because these scriptures are made to guide us. So let's get to scripture, man. Let's get to scripture. Right? Let's get to scripture real quick and then we're going to end it. So this is Matthew 5:25. Agree with thine adversary quickly. Hold up. What did it say? It said, agree with thine adversary quickly while thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge. Right? Isn't that what happened? The cop arrests you, take you to a holding cell, you get processed, you get taken to a jail, you wake up in the morning, if on Monday or whatever it was, and you go to court. Right? It says, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. So like the scripture says, man, agree with thine adversary quickly. And that's what's wrong with Jake, man. You want to try to be equal with your damn enemy, and your enemy tossing you to and fro, right? Shooting you and doing all sorts of other things, man. But that's pretty much all I wanted to get into, man. You know, you can go and watch the video yourself, you know, but other than that, Lord willing, this is edifying. I'd like to say Barakatah Yahweh Bashimi Awashah Shalom.